Hi. So we are going to go through and talk a little bit about search key terms, developing search key terms, accessing the database for our scholarly research, which it is going to be the next project that's due. For the next research log, and then also kind of understanding Boolean operators. So hopefully pretty quick, but we'll get through this. So first and foremost, as we did a little bit on Tuesday, you know you have those keywords, you have those synonyms, the antonyms, you narrow it, you broaden it, try to find as many keywords as you can. At some point, you will start to key in on the keywords that are brought up from other scholars and from the research that you're doing, and you'll start to list those as well in your research log. So always developing keywords, always refining keywords. One of the most horrendous things to happen in research is for you to go through and do your lit review and have missed a complete offshoot field discussion conversation that's going on about your topic because it's like, well, I've never thought to use that word. So we need to continuously be going on and going through and kind of developing these keywords and thinking about them and trying to make sure that we are understanding the breadth of the conversation that's going on about our topic. Now, I'm going to pause here and actually kind of walk you through how to get to the library databases. So when you just go to the library, library.gmu.edu, that'll bring up the Mason library page. Now you can see there's 4 kind of blue boxes, squares, and the first one is subject guides. Now you can, of course, just go under that subject guide and go under the find articles, select the journal that you want, go through that. But it's going to be a little narrowed, right? You're going to have to go through each one of those journals. So there's a faster way, and that's to use kind of a larger database, a larger search base, right? Think that if you go to Google, you get a whole bunch of websites instead of just going to one particular website and searching under that little website. So what I want you to do is click on the second box that says databases. And then there's that first heading that says resources by format. That's what we want. We want research and writing skills, that very first one. Now, again, you can go under subject, but it's going to start listing out all those databases or all those journals for you. And it doesn't really give you like one big thing just to search on its own. So go under by resources by format, click on the research and writing skills, and then click on, I would probably do that first one, the academic search complete. That goes through and reviews so many journals that more than likely your field's journals are in there. If we find that we don't quite get what we're looking at, then we can go under a different one. But academic search complete is kind of that core journal that everybody, or core database that everybody goes into. So then you have to log in. And then you can actually get into the database, right? Now, again, that database sources a whole bunch of other journals, so you'll be able to go through and get access into that. Now comes our keywords, right? And I want you to take the keyword map that you had done and start to play around with it. But again, start to look at right, other synonyms, other antonyms. As you find an article, just one even, start to look at what other keywords are in that and start to do that same work of, okay, so here's more keywords. How do you do synonyms, antonyms, narrow them, broaden them, narrow them, all of that work. Now, when we're going through and searching here, there's something called the Boolean operators. Now, the Boolean operators are ways to change your search, to make your search better. Really, there's just the three that people go through and use: and, or, and not. I was hoping that we would be able to see red better. Okay, so and, what's going to happen when you add an and you can add as many as you want. Like, you just keep clicking the plus button and you can like keep adding keyword and keyword and keyword and keyword. But more than likely, what's going to happen is we end up narrowing and narrowing and narrowing until we have no results. So play around with it, but be aware, right? So when you have the word and, what's actually going to happen is you are going to restrict your results, right? You're going to get fewer results the more ands you add. Because not only, right, to make an omelet, do I need eggs? I need eggs and milk and cheese and spices and whatever, right? So every time you do an and, you get smaller and smaller and smaller results. Or, on the other hand, is going to expand them, right? Or is what you do when you're actually at the place where you have like 5 articles and you're like, well, I need more than that. So now we start to use those synonyms. Now we use, I don't know, violence or aggression in gun violence, something like that. Now, not is kind of ends up being used after you've done some research and a certain word keeps popping up or a certain group or something like that. And you're like, that is not where my research is, right? This happens a lot if you're wanting to research college students and you keep getting high school students or K through 12 or something like that. So using the word not is just going to refine it, right? To where you don't have to put up and like sort through all of those results that you know don't work for you. Then you use not, then you go through and you actually refine it down so that you're not wasting your time. All right. So keyword searches, how to get to the databases that we're going to use to do our research log search at least, and how to use the Boolean operators. Until next time.